I have an update for you on the most petty diplomatic fight that I've ever seen. I mean, this is between Poland and Russia, and it's just so it's so weird and funny. So basically, just to give you the timeline, in 2022, March 2022, Poland blocked the bank accounts of the Russian embassy in Warsaw. Okay, so in the Polish capital. And then a few days later, the Russians did the same thing. They blocked Poland's embassy account in Moscow. Then 1 year later, so in April of this year, I made a video about it, right? Poland emptied the accounts of the Russian embassy in Warsaw. So they had blocked them, so they can't pay for anything and can't use them and can't withdraw. And just now, then they had, a few weeks ago, just completely taken the money, like just emptied it, millions of euros. Then a few days later, this is the latest news. Poland closed a Russian embassy school in Warsaw. This is from Al Jazeera. So Russia slams Polish seizure of embassy school in Warsaw. So Russia said it will respond harshly and etc. etc. Let me read this to you, give you my thought. I really just want to get to the meat of it. The Polish Foreign Ministry said to Reuters that the building housing the embassy school belonged to the Polish state. The Russian Foreign Ministry said that the Polish authorities burst into the embassy school grounds with the aim of seizing it. It said Poland's hostile actions are a blatant violation of the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations of 1961 and an encroachment on Russian diplomatic property. Sorry, but I have to agree with the Russians here. I mean, it's not the Russians, it's just the law. It's the Vienna Convention. This is the Cold War. This is 1961. To avoid having Russian diplomats in the US or US diplomats in Russia just randomly arrested and, accused of espionage. Most of them are spies, though. To avoid this kind of stuff, they came up with the Vienna Convention. And, one of the convention's, perks, or should we say, defenses that are given to diplomats is diplomatic immunity. So, for example, you can't arrest a diplomat unless unless they have a machine gun in their hands and they're murdering people. Yes, obviously you can arrest them and stop them in such an extreme case, but you can't just randomly take them in for whatever because it's harassment. This includes the property and the premises of the diplomatic missions. So Warsaw. When I say Warsaw, I mean the Polish government. Taking the embassy's accounts in the first place last year, it's very obvious that they're trying to stop the Russians from being able to pay for the building or pay for their expenses, and therefore making their embassy and mission inoperable, limiting it. Because there are expenses, the electricity, the wages, the food, everything. That was already a violation of the Vienna Convention, and now, especially physically, with the actual property being taken, the fact that it was an embassy school. I mean, it's a school or not, if it belongs to the embassy, and there are diplomats in there, you can't just burst in and take it and saying, it belongs to the Polish state. So they basically ran it through a bunch of like a kangaroo court case in Warsaw. And basically, the state gave itself the rights to the property to the land, and then took the thing back. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can't do that. And it's what's next? Are they going to burst into the embassy and seize that? It's outrageous. And so now the Russians have responded by also taking the funds of the Polish embassy account. I mean, this is so petty. Just give each other the money back, unblock the accounts, and leave each other's embassies alone. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you guys? This is so pathetic. And the funny thing is that the Polish, they expelled 45 Russian diplomats last year, which was another, it's their right. Poland, in this case, is the host country. They are under no obligation to have an embassy diplomatic ties with you, and therefore an embassy, and give credentials to every diplomat. They at any time can withdraw the credentials and kick a diplomat out, even the ambassador, right? But if you're going to take the embassy money and the embassy grounds, you have to sever ties first. You can't just take this for now and then, empty this account for now and this and that. Now, this is ridiculous. This is exactly what the Vienna Convention was designed to prevent. And I think both of them are violating it. It's very clear. Just because Poland started, it doesn't mean that Russia is also, Russia has the right to reciprocate. It does not. It does not. The Russians are violating the Vienna Convention by behaving like Poland, or in this case, or Poland's government. You can't pick and choose and cherry pick. That thing. That thing survived the Cold War. It has to survive this one because there's enough crap going on without this petty stuff. It's truly petty and also kind of hilarious. I'm really curious to see what they're going to confiscate next. Maybe they'll steal the ambassador's bicycle, or his daughter's homework, or some crap. Come on, guys. Cut it out.